This is a conversation with Cédric, one of my dedicated students, who has been on an incredible journey of learning Polish. In this episode, we dive into Cédric's experiences, challenges, and proud moments as he tackles one of the world's most difficult languages. But this conversation goes far beyond just language learning. We explore fascinating topics like his passion for music, from teaching teenagers to performing as a professional trumpet player in Switzerland, the motivation behind learning Polish, including heartwarming stories about connecting with his Polish girlfriend's family and introducing friends to the language, Switzerland's cultural uniqueness, four official languages, and his experience serving in the Swiss Army, fatherhood in a multilingual home, raising his daughter with both Polish and Swiss German, and the joys and challenges of nurturing a multilingual child. The beauty of Swiss nature. Cédric shares his favorite places and how Switzerland's breathtaking landscapes have influenced his music and life. This is a fun, insightful, and heartwarming conversation that highlights the power of dedication, the beauty of language learning, and the deep connection it can create across cultures. My ultimate goal is to create the best online Polish language course, and students like Cédric inspire me to make that dream a reality. But I need your help too. Together, we can build something extraordinary for Polish learners around the world, an engaging, supportive, and impactful language learning community. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and let me know what you think should be included in the course. Thank you for being part of this journey. So, the first question is, why did you start learning Polish?
So, yeah, I met my girlfriend. Um, so basically, Marta and I got together, and I already knew that her family doesn't speak German or just a little English, just her mother. And I remember back then we were together for 2 or 3 months, and she visited in they visited us in Switzerland, so the grandmother and her mother. And I felt, okay, it's really hard to communicate. So in these days, I started to learn some Polish, and that was the beginning of a yeah interesting adventure. Let's put it that way.
Yes. And what were the first things you learned, and what like did you use any apps or just you asked your
um,
girlfriend?
so yeah, I asked my girlfriend. Obviously, like some swearing words, like usual, as usual when you start to learn something, but also different things. Like you look beautiful and hi and good night and how are you. I remember I started using an app, um, but I was really frustrated because I asked Marta, okay, what's this? Because it's already so complicated, and she said, yeah, it's like conditional all over the place. So I started just learning some few words with Quizlet, an app I use until today. And I remember back then from time to time, we went swimming. So some of the first few words were stuff like bathing trousers. I don't know the right word in English. It was kąpielówki and
Yeah,
um,
swimming suit.
swimming suit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
something like
this
this.
and like swimming glasses, like goggles, right?
Yeah.
So okulary pływackie, takie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Funny first words.
Okay. And when you decided to look like for teacher, did it become better or worse?
My motivation?
No, like, the learning process.
Yeah, much better, much better. So before I just learned with a book, which was actually pretty good. I liked it, but yeah, sometimes I took a break of a few months, and when I decided to learn with a teacher, so with you, so I got much better. So like in the beginning, we had lessons every second, third day. Also, it was just before we started, just before the lockdown, so I had
Yeah.
plenty of time to learn, and that was huge. Obviously, that was a great start.
Okay. And what was really difficult for you at the beginning?
Um, so at the beginning, when we started, or in, like really
The
in the
the
beginning,
very the very
the
beginning,
very
yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
So I remember I struggled a lot with um, like just with the simple structure of the letters, like um, because I think every language has its combinations, like and right, and you see them and you feel like, oh, this is a syllable, or this is a syllable, and then you combine them. And when I first started with Polish, I struggled so much just with the right order of those letters. I think the combination, like which letters like R and Z, that they can be together, that was fine. But then I struggled a lot with, oh, is it a Y here? Is it a J? Is it I? Um, and which comes first? And this was really hard. Um, yeah.
And how did you overcome this problem?
I think after some time you just get a feeling for it.
Yeah.
Um, I remember after a few weeks in with you, um, I didn't have to like there was a new word, for example, and I already had a pretty good guess how to spell it. Sometimes details were wrong or it was completely wrong, but sometimes I also got better in this. And I think it's just this kind of feeling you get for how to write words in a specific language.
Okay. And so do you remember how you met Karol?
Yeah. So Karol, he moved in, like Martin and I lived together with two other friends, and then we moved together in our own flat, and Carol um, moved in my old room. That's how
Okay.
we met.
Okay. Because you recommended me to him, and then his current wife started learning also Polish with me, and I thought this might be also interesting how Polish language is now all over the place. Now they live in New Zealand, so when we have lessons, it's like evening over there and morning over here, and it's kind of crazy. Um, so you started learning, but it hasn't really been easy. What motivated you to keep learning?
Mm, First of all, I uh, I had this huge goal that I wanted to be able to communicate with Marta's family when we visit them in Poland. and this happens twice, 3 times a year for a couple of weeks. And just felt in the beginning, right? It was hard. I already started learning Polish, but she had to translate a lot, and also when I was with people who weren't able to speak in English or German, so it was really tough, and I got nervous, and they got nervous, and
I'm nervous.
right. Uh, so I just felt like even little things like could I have a tea, please? Just it helped, right? To be there and to enjoy the time. And I felt that every time I came back, like already there, right? I heard a lot of Polish. I felt a difference, and whenever I came back, it just got better, right? When you just some simple words, then I knew the word to work, pracować, and then I already okay, there at least I know what they're talking about, and then I understood some more, or I just could introduce myself and tell them why I learned Polish and since when I started and what we do, and that's it, right? But at least I could communicate, and the Polish people are really cute, really sweet, in the way that they're so happy when you when they see that somebody learns their language, and they are aware that it's a tough language to learn
Is
and to
it
speak.
is it really tough or?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
After I don't know, almost 5.5 years of learning, still struggling. So I think, yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. It is, but so you are from Switzerland and you have four official languages in Switzerland, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you were used to different languages, and um, how is it to live in a country where you have four different languages? Like, do you meet people from your country who don't speak the languages you speak? How is it?
Um, no, I think that rarely happens. But like it's there are clear areas, right, where you speak German, where you speak French, where Italian,
Yeah.
and where uh, Romanic. I don't know, Retro-Romanic. I know.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how the language is called in English.
Say it in German or in Swiss. How do you call it?
Retro-Romanisch,
Okay. Yeah.
Starorománszky.
Retro-Romanisch. Retro-Romanisch.
That's right.
Okay, I like
And
it.
that, I mean, that there are maybe 30, 40,000 people still speaking this language. So that's yeah, it's just a little group. And
Okay.
let's say if you stay in Zurich, you're safe, right? There, the Swiss people speak German,
So
so
you
you
just
don't
don't
have
go
to
to
know
different
French.
areas there.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
So when you go to the French-speaking part, obviously there you can use some French, but people there, yeah, in school the first language they learn is also German or English. I don't know the school system that well, but anyhow, so you at least everybody speaks some English, right?
Yeah.
Also, and the people from the Italian speaking part from Ticine, they at least those I met, they speak German, and like because they learn it in school. But yeah, nowadays everybody speaks at least English, so
Okay.
it's like an unofficial fifth language.
Okay. Okay. So, um, when foreigners come to Switzerland, what language do they expect to speak first? Like German or French, or they know you guys speak English?
Yeah, I think like like when you go to Poland, right, as a tourist, then you
Yeah,
expect people, let's say, working in a restaurant, that they know some English, at least basics. And in
yeah,
Switzerland, I think it's the same way.
okay,
Especially the younger generation, they all know some. The older generations, maybe a little at least. So as a tourist, I think you can just come and visit and speak in English. And if you stay here, so just today I talked to somebody who already lives in Switzerland a little longer,
yeah,
and is visiting a course to learn some German. But she also said that it's hard for her to actually use it because her social group is mainly from the company she works in, and this is an international company. So she struggles to get in touch with Swiss people. Okay, maybe she could do something like
yeah.
to, I don't know, join a club or something like this. But but yeah, you also can survive just if you know some English and basic Swiss German or German to make your uh, yeah, to go to a store and buy your groceries. And yeah.
Okay, okay. So despite having like four official languages, you still can normally communicate inside your nice country.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now it's sad because since I finished school, um, I rarely used or had to use French. So um, I lost a lot of this ability to speak this language. I still understand French pretty well, I'd say, but I have this reflex that uh, when I have to use a foreign language, that Polish now is so active and strong that the Polish language comes first. So I
Yeah,
remember
that's
funny moment, a party of a friend, that a guy came to me and asked me in French if I am a trumpet player, what I am, and I answered in Polish. Um, it was just a word. Yes, I had to say I couldn't manage that. So I know we, of course, but I was, yeah, Marta
no,
was laughing really hard.
that's because you already have a Polish brain. That's why. And you said something which sounded very beautiful. So maybe you can repeat it. It was Polish comes first. Polish comes first. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Polish comes first. That's true.
Nice, 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 nice. So in Switzerland, you have mandatory military service, right?
Yep, for men. Yep.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about it?
So,
Do you
yeah,
have a gun? Do you have a gun at home?
I don't.
Okay.
But that's
Do you,
because
do you have a rocket launcher?
um, two, yeah.
You have pierogi launcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, my heart beats for pierogi. That's true. So no, I don't have a gun. But that's because I was there's an orchestra, and as a musician, I was part of this orchestra, and this orchestra has no gun. But that's one of the very few parts of the military service in Switzerland which has no gun. Um,
Okay.
and basically, it works like that. Yeah, that you have to um, kind of prove yourself. There is just an event where you have to go. You get a medical checkup. You have to do some tests, and they just check if you yeah, are fit, if you're healthy, and
Yes.
because they don't want to pay too much. Like if somebody is has an illness, then you can't go to the military service. So then there are two options. Either you don't do anything and then you have to pay for 10 years, I think, depending on how much you earn. If you earn something, you have to pay more. If you don't earn anything because you're studying something, then you have to pay just maybe $400 a year.
Okay.
And there is this middle thing where you just do some social work for 1.5 years, like like 1.5 times longer than you would be in
Oh,
the military service.
okay. So there is some complicated maths. Maybe we can skip this part.
Oh, okay, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so there you work, for example, with elderly people or with homeless people, and yeah, you get paid for that, and you can also go home after you finished work. Yeah.
And what did you learn over there? What did they teach you?
um, so useful stuff. I
No, maybe we can
I
skip
can't
this part.
recall.
No, no, no.
Unuseful stuff,
There must
yeah,
there
a
must
lot of
have been
stuff.
there must have been something.
Some
How
useful
to
stuff.
survive,
Yeah,
let's say how to
yeah,
survive
yeah. I mean,
without.
we did some first aid that we did.
Okay.
We had to practice that a lot, and we had some exams. Yeah,
But did you learn
but
how to
other than
shoot,
that,
or did you learn
no,
how
me
to
not. Right, we had no weapons.
some cyber
And
security?
even those with weapons, I don't know if it's useful if you know how to shoot. But anyhow, maybe it is in the future. I hope not. Um, but uh, yeah, I mean, we had some lessons in music theory, but it doesn't change your life. We had to, it's called ABC training, atomic biological or chemical. So it's
Oh,
about chemical weapons, biological weapons, and
okay,
there you
that's
had some training.
interesting.
But it was just it always was fake, right? And we never used even the proper equipment. Um, but yeah, I mean, in the end, the possibility that you have to use it is very little. I don't even know. I have some stuff in my cellar, but I don't know if there is anything.
But do you still have any training like every year or every 2 years?
So there is like a longer period you have where you have to stay. Now it's I think 18 weeks, and then you maybe again 6 times 3 weeks every year.
Okay.
Like kind of repetition course that you yeah don't forget everything. And those with weapons have also a shooting. They have period after this first
Oh, sorry,
longer.
sorry, can you repeat because there was a glitch? I
Oh,
think
okay.
uh, I think the government hears what.
They don't want to. They don't want that the internet knows.
Yeah, you started giving too much information and
All
yeah.
right. Um, so yeah, I mean, it basically works that you start with 18 weeks, and then every year you go there again for 3 weeks and maybe 6 times. I'm not sure, and then you finish, right? And I already did that. And if you have a weapon, then you have to do a shooting, so to practice that also every year. I think even longer than this, like until 35. I'm not sure. That's why
Okay.
everybody has like those people have their gun at home. because you have to use your own weapon.
Okay.
At least that's the way I think it works, because I've never had to do it, right? I never shot the gun, which I'm happy.
Yeah, that's fine. So you recently became a father, and
True.
congratulations again.
Thank you.
And how is it to be a father?
It's just most beautiful thing in the world. I mean, you see, I'm smiling. So it's,
Yes.
um, I mean, it's really tough. It's a huge challenge. You have this little human being at home. They're Yeah, I mean, you don't know how what to do, right? In the beginning, everything is new. You obviously you got some information. You have some support from family, but also professional. But in the end, at 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody cares, right? You have to go through it yourself,
Yeah.
and just yeah, do it. And but then yeah, we're really lucky because our little daughter um, sleeps really well in the night. It makes a huge difference. So tonight we slept for 7 hours non-stop. That was amazing.
Perfect.
First time,
Perfect.
first time, no new record. So
Yeah,
tonight
just
we're
before our podcast. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I'm not sleeping already. You're not talking to yourself. That's pretty amazing. Who would have thought? Um, and now she, yeah, from week to week she gets more active. She smiles, she laughs. She just yesterday, first time, she turned from laying from on the back to laying on the belly, which is a huge step. And yeah, so this is, and today actually, she's 4 months old. She yeah, so this is yeah, it's amazing. And I mean, the moment of birth, there's just nothing comparable to that. It's such a mighty moment. It's unbelievable. It's just pure happiness. Um, there's yeah, it's just crazy. Oh.
And what languages do you and your partner speak to her?
It's a good question. So my partner, she speaks mostly in Polish with her. Um, I speak in Polish or Swiss German.
Yeah.
Just random changes. I don't know when and why, what, but it just happens. And but my partner and I, we speak mostly in High German. Um, so there's a funny mix for the little one so far.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but we're still a little unsure how we will do that in the future. But our goal is that she knows both languages,
Yeah.
especially yeah, for the same reasons that I learned Polish, that she's able to communicate with her Polish family.
Yeah. 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 Great. Great. Um, and do you think you should start teaching your children Polish or other languages from the same beginning, like using these languages with them, or
Yeah, I just um, 1 week ago I talked to the grandmother of my nephew,
yeah,
and she works as a mother father counselor, so she supports young parents. And I asked
yeah,
her, what should we do? And there are different ways, right? She said either she first learns German properly, and then we teach her Polish as well. Or there are like clear people she talks to in Polish and German, and they always speak in Polish or German with her, and that also works. But yeah, there are also different opinions. We're still finding out what's working best for us. Also, the question, what do Marta and I speak in which language we speak, because it's
Yeah,
yeah, now
Switzerland.
it's German.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's obviously important that she knows German really well. But yeah.
Okay. So Switzerland is obviously a very famous country, very beautiful and attractive to tourists. What's your favorite place in Switzerland when it comes to nature? Maybe what do you recommend visiting over there?
Yeah, so obviously the mountains, the Alps are beautiful, right? They're spectacular, and very easy reachable with public transportation. I think one of my favorite places is Zermatt. It's the village where from where you can see the famous mountain Matterhorn, which for years was on the Toblerone chocolate. Um,
Yeah.
and it's really when you're there and you see this mountain, it's just really impressive. It's clear when you're there, it's clear why it's so famous, because it's just outstanding. It's beautiful. Um, but then you're already fully in the mountains, right? But there's some places where you have just a beautiful view on everything. There's a mountain called Rigi, and from there it's like one of the first mountains when you get closer to the Alps. So from there you have a beautiful view, beautiful panorama,
Yeah.
and it's also next to the lake Vierwaldstätter See, which is where Lucerne lays. Like there is the Lucerne is there, and it's also a really really nice lake. There are some beautiful rivers, and it's like there's so much, and it's hard to choose actually a place. Also, the cities are nice, so yeah, it's
So when you
expensive
go
but
to,
worth it.
yeah, when you go to a different country and you compare to Switzerland, do you even get excited? Like you look at something, let's say in France or in Italy, and you say, leave it. We have a better one in Switzerland.
So first Poland came to mind, and I remember when I, for the first time, was in Poland. I was there in the car, driving to Marta's mother's place, and
Yeah,
I told them that it's amazing for me because in Switzerland there's always a hill, always a mountains, and Poland's just flat like a pizza.
perfect, perfect,
So there
perfect
was
example.
I from Switzerland I don't really know that, right? But for example, last year I was in Tuscany, and I just love it. It's so beautiful. The landscapes, it's just really different, right? To that, comparing to that what we have in Switzerland. It's this there are different plants, like everything. It smells. The air is different. It smells different. We have no ocean, and to enjoy. So
That's another topic. Yeah, maybe you
the
can tell me
smell
about it.
of the salty water is, yeah, something we don't have. We have one lake, the Lake Constance, where you can't when depends on where you're standing, but sometimes you can't see the other end because it's that huge. So this feels a little bit like the ocean, but obviously it's nothing. It's not the same. There's no sand and everything. So so yeah, I get excited, but we never, for example, were in Polish mountains because my partner always said, yeah, it's comparing compared to the Swiss mountains, just not
Not the
worth.
same.
Not, it's not the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but you don't have pierogi, right?
we don't,
You
we
you
don't.
don't have
But
bigos. You don't have bigos.
since we don't, but
And
we can make pierogi ourselves, right?
so you see, Poland also has nice things.
So yeah, but there is a Polish store actually in Cédric. It opened maybe a year ago, 2 years, and they
Yep.
sell self-made pierogi. They sell self-made bigos. Um, so life isn't that bad in Switzerland.
No, it's not. Okay. So you are a musician and also teacher. Um, Tell me a little bit about your just passion to be a musician.
So I grew up in a family where there was always music, right? Everybody of us played an instrument. My father the piano, my mother the flute, my oldest brother first the piano, then the drums, my second brother the guitar. So we were listening to music all the time. Just I was always interested. I always had to look what happens and just try myself on the piano first. Then I started with trumpet lessons, and yeah, I was just always. I always love to do some music, listen to music, explore music, and that just continued. Then I went to high school. I was reunited with my best friend, and we were just those typical music nerds, like just interested in music and nothing else, pretty much. So yeah, we just went crazy and did every um, yeah little stupid thing you could do in music, and then I decided to study music, and that I want to do this for a living, and thought yeah, the teaching is nice way to do it. Then during my studies I um, so much enjoyed to play the trumpet, to do concerts with it, that I changed my mind and did 2 years of pure trumpet studying, and then I came back to my teaching studies, which are also very practical. And so now I have this combination, which I really enjoy, with teaching part-time being a trumpet player, and so I have to practice every day and have my rehearsals with orchestras, with ensembles, with soloists, and play my concerts. Yeah, here in the region of Switzerland, and meet so many nice people in that way, and yeah, it's really nice.
Nice, yeah. So you really play the trumpet?
I really do. I really do.
Okay.
At least I try my best. Yeah, hate
I
love
know, I know,
sometimes.
I know, I know. So, what do you enjoy the most when it comes to teaching? Because you teach children, right? Oh, there was a
Yeah.
glitch again, but now you're back. You're back.
Yeah, I teach teenagers,
Yeah,
and I think um, I think the moment I enjoy the most is when some of my passion and fire for music awakes kind of in the teenagers. So uh, in the school I worked before, every year there was this big concert with a choir of 100 students and the band playing, and um, this progress of first just practicing these pieces with the kids, and then getting closer to the concert, you feel okay, they already get tired of the songs, but now we have to push hard to get on a nice level for the concert, and then the whole experience when everything falls together and comes together, and they feel like what music is all about, and this magic in the air, and then the concert comes and their parents are there and their friends and all the teachers, and there's a huge audience of a few hundred people, and um, and I have the privilege as a teacher to bring it all together, right? To when then as a conductor, I I'm like the only person who doesn't make any sound, but I kind of I am responsible for what happens in this moment, and this is just a beautiful feeling to this, like those all those individuals in the choir to make some one big thing, um, and this atmosphere is just possible also because the audience is there. So the audience is also a part of this whole experience. This is just the most beautiful thing. It's yeah, that's probably why I do it, and it's really challenging to keep those 16, 17 years old kids focused on something like singing, which maybe in the first place is something they don't like, and then but to make this journey together with them is a beautiful thing.
yeah, great. I can see you really love this job, and it's great. Let's uh let's switch to Polish now. Co robiłeś w tym tygodniu?
A w tym tygodniu uczyłem w szkole.
Tak,
Ćwiczyłem na trąbce. Um, Dzisiaj koleżanka mojej partnerki była u nas na brunchu.
tak,
A wczoraj był taki po południu, no po południu po prostu rodzice moich uczniów mieli możliwości, e, żeby rozmawiali z nami,
tak,
czyli nauczycielami.
tak, tak,
No trochę nudne, szczerze mówiąc, bo siedziałem tam 5 godzin, przez 5 godzin i
tak,
no, muzyka nie jest najważniejszy przedmiot dla rodziców,
tak.
i dlatego ktoś, ktoś był ze swoją córką. Ale tak, tak czasem jest, nie? No.
Tak, tak jest. Czyli wasza koleżanka była dzisiaj u was, tak?
Mhm.
I co tam jedliście?
Mm, no, chleb, rogale, szynka, ser,
Tak,
em, konfitura, Marta i ja jeszcze zjedliśmy jajka z boczkiem,
tak,
sok pomarańczowy było, kawa oczywiście.
tak.
No takie rzeczy, no. ogórki.
Okej. A jakie masz plany na jutro?
Jutro już będzie następny brunch.
To
No,
samo czy jak?
nie. Będzie kolega z klubu piłki nożnej
Tak,
razem ze swoją dziewczyną,
tak,
bo w grudniu przeprowadzili się do tego samego miasteczka, gdzie my mieszkamy.
tak.
I powiedzieliśmy, no tak, my chcemy być trochę.
O, poczekaj, znowu coś jest.
I teraz? Mamy
Nie, wróciłeś do gry.
Dobrze. Czyli powtórzyć wszystko?
No, 30%.
Okej. Czyli no powiem jeszcze raz wszystko. Tak.
Okej,
No, kolega z klubu piłki nożnej będzie z swoją dziewczyną.
tak,
Oni przeprowadzili się do tego samego miasteczka, gdzie my mieszkamy w
tak,
grudniu i powiedzieliśmy, że chcemy być trochę bardziej w kontakcie.
tak.
I to jest bardzo fajnie, bo właśnie jego żona, nie dziewczyna, a żona jest też w ciąży teraz. Czyli Marta nie
Gratulacje.
jest, ale no to jest fajnie, tak.
Gratulacje.
Czyli jeżeli my wszyscy tutaj zostajemy, to będą w tym samym roku, tak, w szkole.
Tak,
E,
tak.
Best friends for life, tak. To może.
Okay, okay, perfect. So now, when everyone knows you speak Polish like a pro, tell me and tell also the listeners how to learn Polish.
In English, right?
In English, in English.
So first of all, good luck. So no, you need a lot of patience and endurance, and
Do you need
yeah,
alcohol? Do you need drugs? Do you need I don't know,
if it helps, it helps, right?
do you need
but
fresh
but
air from the mountains, maybe, or
definitely, yeah,
eggs, milk? I don't know.
eggs together with bacon. Yeah. So no, but you made a joke about alcohol, and I remember a few years back struggling more with Polish. Marta already went to bed, and I stayed there together with her mother and her boyfriend.
I thought with a bottle of vodka you just said with, but it's okay.
Yeah, probably also vodka and wine
Yeah.
and whatever. And we were talking there in Polish until 3 o'clock in the morning. So this was a really nice experience because it just helped to not to focus that much on grammar and vocabulary and everything. So yeah, but I don't think it's the general solution how to learn Polish. So I think obviously it helped a lot that I had all those weeks in Poland. I heard a lot of Polish. Then it yeah, just to keep learning regularly, that you have your vocabulary, you try to repeat them from time to time. Obviously, I really recommend to learn together with a teacher because it just makes it so much more enjoyable. It's just that. So you feel the progress. When you have every week you have your lessons or lesson, then you just keep on doing it. You can.
Oh, there is a glitch again. You'll be back, I'm sure.
You have the lesson. You
You're
have the
back,
lessons
you're
every
back.
week.
There
I'm
was a
back.
glitch.
Oh, okay.
The-
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So now I have the glitch in my mind. So
It's
yeah, that
okay.
it's really useful if you teach if you learn a language with a teacher. You have those lessons.
Another glitch. Another glitch. Let's wait for it.
Maybe the internet doesn't want to,
No,
I
it
just some
wants.
font.
It wants. It wants. Trust me. I know the internet very well. We are best friends, basically.
So let's try again.
I
Yeah.
spend I spend my life on the internet, so I really know.
So
Yeah.
it really helps a lot if you have your lessons with a teacher and every
This is
week.
going to be the
No,
third time
really.
you say. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Another
No,
glitch.
okay, I have another question, still the same topic.
Okay.
There are many things, obviously, which are difficult and annoying when you learn Polish. Tell me one of them and how you deal with it. And you're like, it's really good to have a teacher.
So how I deal with hard things in Polish language, right?
Yeah,
Difficult.
first give me one thing you really don't like, almost hate, maybe really hate, and how you deal with it.
So as a German speaking person, I'm used to cases. The language has cases different. But in German, the changes are very little. There is maybe an N or an S or an E in the ending, something like this. But it's
So
the changes are
baby
really little.
baby cases, baby cases.
Exactly, like for beginners. And then you just jump 5 levels in difficulty and you try to master Polish cases. And what I found really difficult is not the principle of cases that it's really similar to German, but it's just that the words change that drastically. And when you hear Baje for the first time, you think, what's that? And then they say bar. You know this word. So the bar, and it's like, yeah, okay. No, that's not the same, right?
Yeah,
So this makes it really difficult in the beginning that it changes that much. And so that's one thing. You said just have to tell one thing, but I can't resist. We have to talk about niedokonane, dokonane, so perfect and imperfect. Um, uh, which is really hard because like in German we don't have that that construction of how we use or say something in different times.
yeah,
This is really hard, and which there is also a huge potential of frustration because there's just sometimes the difference between a verb in perfect and imperfect is huge, and you just have no chance to know that this is actually the same verb just in a different time. Um, just without learning it, you really have just to do the double effort to get the
yeah.
vocabulary when it comes to verbs.
Now tell me how you deal with it.
How I deal with it. So to the first point about the cases, you'll manage somehow. So you see the structure behind it. So when you locative miestovnik, when you see like how it works, then yeah, you get kind of this feeling for it, and you understand it
Yeah,
better. And with dokonane, niedokonane, perfect, imperfect, it's still really hard, and I'm still confused all the time. And I also find it really hard to get this feeling for it. Um, and sometimes I know I have to use perfect, and I just get confused in which version of the verb I have to use,
yeah.
which is also kind of frustrating. But yeah, um, I'm still looking for the magic key, but uh, I don't think I'm alone on this journey.
No, you aren't. You aren't. That's why, I wanted to say something about it because, a lot of my students sometimes think that it's like them, that something is wrong with them and not with the language. And
No,
obviously,
no, it's the language,
obviously, it's the
definitely.
language, it's the grammar, and I think at the end of the day, the languages are about communication, not about grammar.
Yeah.
So you just need more time and more practice, and over time, certain things you learn and remember just because you use the language.
Mhm.
So this is the magic you were looking for. Um, okay, Cédric, thank you very much, and
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
and see you in the next one.